Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was removed from Peerage and fell in love with Yandere Sona Sitri movie. Before we start, please go support MaximAngel for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. What would happen if Rias discarded Issei for a mistake and the student council helped him, but what would happen if Sona fell madly in love with him? Prologue: the beginning of suffering. Note: this chapter is before the Triaxa and we will explain the obsession of the citrus. Another note: I forgot to mention that Murayama and Kates are also in the student council. Their sacred gears are 2 swords for each one. Today was a normal day for everyone, but they didn't know that it would be the beginning of the suffering of the factions, or rather women. We see Huda Issei running to his academy because he was running late. We see Issei at the entrance, and he would enter his classes and see his 2 friends Matsuda and Motohama. I don't know how to spell it, and the classes would go on normally. Matsuda: Issei, let's spy on the swimming girls today. I found a new place to spy. He would say this with a perverted face just like his friends. Issei: sure, let's go. All the girls would look at them with disgust. After a coup by the girls, we see an Issei, Matsuda, Motohama in the student council. Sona: this is unacceptable. This is the 7th time this month. Who was the one who came up with this plan? Matsuda and Motohama: it was Issei. Sona: in that case, Hayadu, I want you 2 outside. Issei: traitors! Don't waste your time in creaming. Sona: I don't know who to believe because the 3 of them are the perverted trio, but they are 2 against 1. You 2 get out. So his 2 friends ran away while Issei mentally cursed them. Sona: Hayadu, I'm sorry, but if you don't change, I'll have to expel you from this academy permanently. That left Issei stunned because he never imagined that he would be expelled. Issei: Kaicho, I'm sorry, what should I do to not be expelled? He said this while kneeling because his parents would not approve of him being expelled. Sona: sigh, okay, Hayadu will have to join the student council to keep an eye on him. That left Issei stunned because he didn't think they would tell him that. Issei: thanks Kaicho, I promise not to fail you. Time ship. Issei: traitors. He would say it shouting since they left him as a scapegoat. Matsuda: Issei was necessary, we couldn't be expelled. Motohama: if Issei understands it was for a greater good, look, I have these magazines that you will love as reward. Issei: I don't forgive them, because of them I have to be in the student council. Time ship. The next day we see everything went normally. The weeks passed normally, only that Issei stopped being so perverted. Well, he only showed it in private, he no longer spied or anything, and he met the other members of the student council, all women, and a new member named Gabi, Saji Femme, although sometimes they did not call him or did things without him. Of course it was to kill renegade demons, etc. But what he did not notice, because he was too distracted in things of love, that the girls of the council fell in love with him, because at first they saw him as any pervert. When they met him, they saw that he was a kind boy, good-hearted, who helped everyone. But it happened the day that changed everything, and that was when the girls were going to declare themselves. Reincarnation's thing happened and he died, but he couldn't join him to his nobility zone because he didn't have enough pawns, and he asked Rias to resurrect him, and all the events happened until the defeat of the Triaxa. But what they didn't know is that little by little, every time the student council saw how Issei was with the Gremries, they boiled with jealousy, and little by little that jealousy became an obsession that stole his clothes to be able to have his scent, and Issei always made his polo shirts disappear. Mostly his boxers, and he never knew what was happening to those clothes. The more they saw how Issei approached the Gremries, or as they called them, hitches, sluts among others. That obsession became madness, but they were smart, they weren't going to kill like crazy. No, they thought they knew that sooner or later there would be an opportunity, and they would make the most of it, and it happened after the revelation of the supernatural world, and their alliance. It happened that the women adored Issei. Issei was no longer a pervert, he was considered a prince, but the Gremries didn't know that, and they would devise a plan to stop him from being perverted, but they would give him on a silver platter to a certain student council. Chapter 1: How it all began. This happens a week after the Triaxa. Here Issei never fell into a coma. The supernatural has not yet been revealed. Issei's POV. Everything went well after Triex's defeat, but the girls moved away from me. I still don't know why, but my friend Drake tries to cheer me up. Apart from the student council, he asked me how they are doing, but lately they get too close, pressing their body against mine, which makes me very nervous. Sona's POV. Sona was thinking about the last few weeks because she found out that Rias and her entourage are dating high-class devils. Sona, Momo. Momo, yes, Kaicho. Sona, how is the plan going? I would say it in an emotionless tone. Momo, very well, Kaicho, we are approaching Issei, we are progressing. Sona, very well. As they are preferring the Gremry entourage. Momo, in a lifeless volume it seems that Issei was left for some cheap demons. Sona, very well, if they get far enough away we can take advantage of it, and make Issei fall under our charms, she said it in a happy tone. Momo, there is Kaicho. Sona, finally Rias, after snatching away what is rightfully mine I will get it back and I will do it thanks to your vanity. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. She started with a light laugh that increased, turning into a psychopathic laugh. Time skip 1 day. Normal POV. Today was a normal day, but for a serious person it would be the worst of all. Issei was getting up to go to the academy, doing his daily routine, and cooking his food because his parents went on a trip thanks to searches. Time skip academy. Issei was sitting at his desk somewhat dejected by his partners. Issei, Drake, why do you think they got away from me? He said dejectedly. Drake, I don't know, buddy, but I'm sure they're busy with that university thing. Issei, yes, that must be it. He said it a little more motivated. Thanks, Drake, I think I'll buy them a gift. Drake. Ha ha, the plan is working. I'll let Sona know that the plan is going well, he thought with a feminine voice. There he meets his friends Matsuda and Motohama. Issei, Matsuda, Motohama, good morning. Matsuda/Motohama, good morning, Issei. Matsuda, you're joining us to spy on the Kendo girl's CPN perverted face. Issei, you know guys, he left that behind a long time ago. Motohama, well, it was worth the try, he said dejectedly. The entire academy knew that Issei was no longer a pervert, and was now considered a prince like Kiba. Take skip. After class, Issei went to a jewelry store to buy something for his loved ones, and on his way he stopped at the park where Ryanair killed him. Issei, so this is where it all started. How funny that a pervert with no future like me is a pillar to the factions. If you think about it, it's kind of funny. But then he hears familiar footsteps and voices, so he hides his presence. Rias, how nice was our date, Rito-kun? Right, yes, my dear Rias. Rias, girls who thought of their dates. Gremry entourage, she was very pretty, they said in unison. Crack. Rias, how nice, goodbye, love. So they would all say goodbye to their respective partners with a kiss. Crack, crack, crack. The brown-haired boy had his eyes covered by his hair, and it started to rain, hiding Issei's scent. Issei would go in a magic circle to his house because he realized that each one gave off the other's scent. That meant that they slept together. Issei, why would my sea cough start spitting blood? Drake, I'm sorry to tell you, my friend, that you are suffering from the dragon fall. Issei, what is that cough cough? Drake, Issei, we dragons are beings of great power, but as you know, our power grows with our emotions, but if your emotions are sad and you feel betrayed, your power becomes poison for you. Issei, so I will die for love. How funny, the women I loved so much will kill me. Drake, it usually happens after a 1 year of life, but in your case it would be 3 days until your death due to your great power and fear of more partners, but there is a ritual to save you. Issei, and what is it? I would say it barely feet was kneeling and barely conscious due to blood loss. Drake, but partner, you may not feel anything, but thanks to your emotions for the Sitri entourage, you may not lose your emotions. Issei, ha ha ha, it's so obvious that I like them. Drake, no, actually I know, thanks to the fact that I'm sealed inside you. Issei, okay, let's do it. Drake, okay, make this magic circle and give it to 3 bosses. And he would make a magic circle and increase 3 bosses, making it turn red. Drake, okay, buddy, but I warn you, it will cause you pain worse than Samuel's blood. Issei, and until now you say it, but I will not die, I must protect my loved ones, he would say it with great conviction in his eyes. It would have been 3 hours of long agony for Issei. Currently Issei was on the floor in a pool of his own blood, and he would see a shadow enter his room and scream, and he would see Sona. Sona, Issei. And at that moment Issei would feign saying a few words. Issei, Sona barely audible. Chapter 2, the plan is underway. We see an Issei lying on a bed completely healed, and how did this happen? Let's go back a few hours before. Hours before student council. Sona Kates Murayama. Both, yes Kaicho. Sona, and Issei, how is the plan going? Murayama, if Issei right now must be seeing the hitches cheating on him. Kates, yes, and Mio-chan told us to come at 3:30 because the ritual will be finished in half an hour. She will make the magic circle and the ritual will end in 3 hours. Sona, very well, I will go heal Issei. I just hope he is not too hurt, she said worriedly. Both, don't worry, we'll go. Sona, she displayed her aura that froze everything nearby. I said that I will go. She shouted the last thing. The two, trembling, there is Kaicho. Sona, I'm glad you understand, she said with a smile that was too innocent. End flashback. Sona, and Mio-san, how long will she wake up? At that moment the boosted gear manifested itself. Drake, 2 o'clock hours, and I think we have enough time to do some naughty things, he said it with a woman's voice, and a great glow was present, and the green gem went out, and a beautiful woman appeared. If it was Drake, or her real name Mio, a girl who fell in love with Issei for who he was and tried so hard to get him to be with the Gremories, or, as she called them, hitches, and how she ended up teaming up with Sona, well. Flashback. We see a sleeping Issei and Sona appears and kisses him in desperation. Sona, you taste just as delicious, Issei. But then the boosted gear manifests itself and speaks. Drake, what are you doing, Sitri heiress? Sona, or nothing, kissing my future husband, and I wouldn't like you to interrupt me, as her aura rose. Drake, how about a deal? I can tell you what my partner, husband, feels about you. Sona, and what do you want? Drake, there is a method to get out of this artifact. A long time ago I asked Azazel to get out of the sacred gear, and he gave me this while a key appeared. If you put that key in the boss gear I will get out. Sona, and why don't you do it yourself? Drake, I can't, you need to transfer magic constantly for 1 hour and I can't sustain myself so. Sona, I'm going in there, okay, but tell me what you feel for me. Drake, no, first free me. And Sona had just finished but was surprised to see a woman. Drake, good, I'm free now, I no longer need you and you are a hindrance for Issei to be mine. Sona, and what do you think you're going to tell him? You're mine and no one else's, love me. Drake, yes, that was going to be it. Sona, with an anime-style drop, haha, and how about this, join me and we can have Issei for ourselves, tell me what you think, you know my mind is very big, I can make Issei end up with Rias. Drake, and what will you do? Sona, I'll pretend to forget about him, and when he's weak we'll arrive and comfort him, but tell me, what does Issei feel for us? Drake, feels love for you, Sitri entourage. Sona, already yes. I knew it. Drafe, don't shout, it will wake him up and it cost me a lot to make him sleep soundly and he's fine. I tried but don't monopolize him. Sona, okay, I'd like to know your name, partner. Drake, my name is Mio. End flashback. Mio, I can't believe you managed to make girls fall in love with you. Sona, yes, I already know everything, I planned it perfectly, and tell me what you would like to do in these 1:45 of time. Mio, I don't know but I think you know what I want. They gave him some blowjobs but not hex. They want him to be awake, and do it of his own free will. Time skip. We see an awake Issei lying down with bandages on his body, and he remembered everything and felt nothing. He just wondered about Sona until he saw a lump in his bed and would see Sona naked. Issei, Sona, I would say it all red. Sona, oh Issei, how good that you woke up. Issei, what are you doing in my bed? Sona, or nothing, just that I stayed taking care of your wounds and I got sleepy, but you are very hot, and you made me sweat, so I took off my clothes. And how did you make those wounds? Of course I was lying, I had to pretend not to know anything. So Issei would tell her everything even though she already knew. Sona, and tell me Issei, do you have feelings for them? Issei, in fact, I no longer feel anything for them, only a deep disinterest. Sona, okay, and what are you planning now? From what you told me, you are no longer a demon, and you have not yet been promoted to supreme class, and the counselors will not allow it unless you are a demon that serves someone. Issei, if I don't know what to do now, I won't be able to summon Drake anymore. Sona, join me. Issei, he? Sona, join my clan. Issei, but you don't have enough pieces. Sona, yes, I recently received a set of mutated pieces. Issei, how did you get them? Sona, I think they gave them to me for my efforts in the war. Well, she threatens Ajuka with death if she gives me this set of pieces. Issei, okay. But Issei didn't know that he was condemning his life to some girls crazy about him. Chapter 3, Helping Two Friends. Issei, hold on Sona. Sona, sure Issei. Besides, everyone misses you, there is even Murayama and Kates. Besides, in a few weeks the supernatural will be revealed and we need the great red dragon emperor. Issei, so if you put it like that, yes, I accept Sona-chan, I will be your dear. Sona, red because of the suffix clear Issei-kun. After that, Dona introduced the 8 mutated pawns into the Issei, I feel better again and I will try to summon Drake. Sona, don't bother him, he's probably tired of the ritual. Issei, if you can, tell me what I'll do from now on. Sona, the same as always except that you will live with us. Issei, he? Sona, as you heard, you lived with the Gremry entourage because you were their piece, and now you will do the same except that from tomorrow all my pieces will live together. Issei, AAA, okay Sona-chan, it doesn't bother me, but a question. We will surely live in a citrus area, and tell me your sister will also go. Sona, yes, of course, and I was also going to tell you something delicate. Issei, what's wrong? Don't worry me like that. Sona, Grafia and Venilana will live too, they need your protection. Issei, why? Sona, they were deceived by their wives and separated. Of course the council wants them as baby machines. Issei, cold voice, they did that, right? Sona, somewhat shaky, yes, why? Issei, please wait a few minutes. I'll talk seriously with someone for a few minutes. Sona, Issei, you didn't heal yourself because of... Issei left and the first place went to the Gremry territory in his mansion in Mejuo. Issei, Xiaticus-san. It took a while. Xiaticus, or Issei-san, comes to talk about my daughter's wedding and her entourage. Issei, yes, and about a topic that worries me. Xiaticus, which would it be? Issei, that your daughter is just like you. Xiaticus, how so? Issei, yes, I found out about your deception. Xiaticus, but she's my wife and I have the right to sleep with anyone. Issei, yes, like you, your daughter cheated on me. Xiaticus, impossible. Issei, as you hear, your daughter is a hitch, like a splinter, she hurts, and one last thing, Venilana is under my protection. His eyes turned green. Issei gave him a strong blow that crashed him into a wall. Issei, I made it clear to you, and if you believed me as your family here, and now I break my engagement, and I am no longer Rias Gremry's dear, understood? Issei retreated, leaving a dying Xiaticus. Issei, what else comes to you, Xerxes? Issei teleported to Xerxes' office, watching him having hex with a maid. Issei, I interrupt something outside. Xerxes on. Issei out. The employee left, and Xerxes was adjusting his clothes. Xerxes, since you came, Issei-kun. Issei, or if my engagement with your sister is broken. Xerxes, worried, why? Issei, or simple is the same as his father and brother. How sad that they are children of Venelana-chan is a great woman. Searches, what are you talking about? Like the same as us? Issei, you are very stupid, your sister cheated on me with her entourage. Searches, you lie? Issei, it's your problem and I don't want you to bother Grafia, do you understand? Zerhazan. It didn't end because Issei's aura rose to such a strong extreme that it seemed like a dragon against an insect. Issei, did you understand? Searches, with fear SSS yes. Issei, good, now I'll go with some mummies. Issei transported himself to the Demon Council. Counselor 1, what are you doing here, lower demon? Counselor 2, if you are an inferior being, how dare you come to this place? Counselor 3, that aura is you, perhaps you are. Issei, the ritual changed my appearance a lot but my aura is the same. Advisor 3, what is the reason for your visit, Red Emperor Drayan? Issei, he recognized me, I'll get to the point. His voice was emotionless and his aura rose, making the ground tremble. Grafia Lucifuge and Venelana Bale are under my protection. Counselor, but they will be machines. His aura rose higher and everything trembled. Issei, you finish that sentence and you die. I don't even care if you're an enemy of the underworld or the underworld. If you mess with a loved one of a dragon, you'll all die, you understand? Counselor 1 the Issei, no, but so they choose the destruction of their faction or just leave them alone. Counselor, it's okay, they won't be touched. Issei, I hope so, bye. Issei returned home. Sona, Issei, you're okay, you didn't do anything while checking him. Issei, I didn't do anything and I already fixed that matter, they won't bother you anymore. Sona, okay, I'll tell them, get your things ready, we'll leave tomorrow, okay? Issei, okay, because I feel like 2 crazy girls fell in love with me more, what does it matter? Chapter 4 Mastermind. Narrates Sona. Rias, we were always rivals and that rivalry was born from our parents. We fought to see who was better and most of the time you won. That disappointed me. I came to think that I had to keep the defeat in my family. Until Issei Hayadu appeared, everyone said he was always that simple pervert, but in reality he was never like that. Call me a stalker, but I investigated you, Issei, a model student at his previous school but very distant, not at all sociable, and when you got here your supposed friends looked for you, not you them, and it was easy to see. You helped everyone without asking for anything in return and everyone knew it, but they saw you as just another pervert. I realized immediately, and what did I do? Simple, I helped you to be who you were before and it worked. You left that side behind. I thought your supposed friends would leave you, but I was surprised to see them there supporting you, and what a simple step. I fell in love with you. I didn't want to share you even with my entourage. You managed to captivate everyone. Even Kates and Murayama, who hated you, but when they saw your interior well, they realized and surrendered to you. But that day came, they murdered you and they didn't have enough pawns, and I gave you victory on a gold platter, and you reincarnated him, and he had to join you. I left, and realized that you were very important to all of us, and I accepted that defeat. But that day that I decided to leave him, your engagement with Razor happened. You hated men for looking at you for your body, and I do not deny it, even I envied your body, but not anymore. Issei helped me, saying that if someone loves me for your body and not for your feelings, leave it, and I listened. But getting back to the subject of Razor and your engagement, you asked me for help to train them, and I accepted, and what happened? I heard that conversation. I love you for being who you are. I don't see Rias Gremory. I only see Rias, a great person. I understood that I lost something very valuable, and that I did nothing. I would wait patiently for your first mistake, but I failed, and what did I give up? Never would I lose this time, and I hired demons to make them fall in love with me, and it worked. I planned all their meetings, their dates. I did everything myself to in the end keep the grand prize. I know it was a dirty move, but in war and in love anything goes, and I did it. Now I will take charge of repairing that heart. The dragons are impressive beings. I thought they were destructive, but deep down if a dragon falls in love he will give you everything of him, if necessary even his life, and that is what I like the most. If a dragon feels a betrayal he will take refuge in any affection, and that is what I will do. Laughs. This victory will be completely mine, and I know that it will hurt you to know that you lost the only man who loves you for who you are, and he is mine and only mine even if I share it with my entourage and a few more, but I will be the first, ha 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 ha. Nara Grafia. I remember the first time I saw you I only saw a normal boy, but I was impressed by your efforts to protect your loved ones. It captivated me and I secretly loved you every time I saw you with Rias and her entourage. I hated her so much I wanted to kill her, but I controlled myself until she appeared offering me a deal. Normal narrator. Grafia is in the master banyu. Grafia. Yes, Issei, yes, like that stronger filming my little dragon. I interrupt something. Grafia. Sona-san, please forgive me. I'm sorry you see me like this. She put on her blanket because she was naked. Sona, so you like Issei? Grafia, not as you think, he is Rias-sama's fiancé, he said nervously, but the last thing with hatred that Dona realized. Sona, you hate her. Grafia, I don't know what you're referring to. Sona, I'm talking about Rias. I know you hate her. It's obvious that you hate her a lot for having a man like that, not like your husband. It's true that she cheats on you, but you turn a blind eye. Grafia, don't tell anyone, please, begging. Sona, not as you think, I have a deal for you that will benefit you. Help me find out about Rias' tastes and let's share Issei Hayadu. Grafia, like in shock. Sona, you as well as I know what the purity of his heart is like, and you realized it's not true. He's not a pervert who wants girls for their body but for their. Grafia, feelings I accept. Sona, good, but we need more help. Grafia, whose? Sona, you didn't notice Venelana. Grafia, impossible, she sees him as a son and was in love with Theodicus. Sona, yes, he almost cheated on me, but Issei's gaze showed love in his pupils and Theodicus cheated on her, and she knows it but she doesn't care. In fact, she tries to separate Issei and get a divorce. Grafia, seriously surprised. Sona, I actually think he does the same thing as you. Nara as a Russian. The first time I saw him I thought he was a pervert, but how he protected all his loved ones. He even betrayed me when he defended my daughter Rias in her engagement. I saw the determination in his eyes and I came to think that my daughter did not deserve him and was spying on him secretly. I knew that my daughter would leave him sooner or later. I raised her wrong and I know it, but this time I'm glad I raised her wrong. I was close. If he considered me his mother when I left him, he would seek comfort, and a dragon falls in love easily when he is betrayed and his mother enters. I already imagined our children Kia. I was in my manual works thinking about him until I saw Grafia and Sona. Normal narrator. Venelana, why didn't they play nervous that they would see it, and worse thinking about Issei? Sona, we know everything. Venelana, if I took care of hiding it well, what can I do? I'll kill them. Wouldn't it be much better to erase their memory? I don't know what they're talking about. Grafia, no need to lie, Venelana-sama, and don't worry, we have a deal with you. Venelana, what a deal? They told him their plan, but they had to share it, but first they had to leave their husbands. Present. Place? Sona, it worked, he defended them. I think they will never bother them again. He even threatened the demonic council. G/V, every day I fall more in love, like a schoolgirl in love. Sona, the plan is going well, soon he will be just ours. Several silhouettes were seen. Everyone, yes. Chapter 5, Even Angels Fall into Madness. Narrates Gabriel. I remember that day we met at the first faction meeting. I saw your heart, a heart of gold. I fell in love with your way of being, your attitude. Your aroma was my drug. We were very good friends. I declared my love for you, but I forgot something very sad and happy at the same time. Sad for not being able to be the owner of that heart, and happy because your heart belonged to a woman, or women in this case, and I would not betray them. I cried for a whole week when I declared my love and she rejected me. Flashback. We see two people in a beautiful sunset. Gabriel, Issei is very beautiful, isn't he? Issei, yes, you're right. Gabriel, Issei, you are in love. Issei, yes. Gabriel, and he has blonde hair and blue eyes. Issei, Asia, yes, I think so. Gabriel, excited Issei. Issei, yes. Gabriel tried to kiss Issei, but he pulled away. Issei, what are you doing, Gabriel? Gabriel, sad, I thought it was me you loved. I'm blonde and have blue eyes. Issei, I'm sorry, but I was talking about Asia. Gabriel, okay, I understand. Issei, yes, I'm in love with my entire entourage. Gabriel, I understand, but don't you love me? Issei, sad, yes, yes, I love you. Gabriel, happy, then we can be happy, leave them. Issei, I know, but my heart belongs to them more and I can't do this to them, always men and long live Christ King. Gabriel, but I can also be in your harem. Issei, tears up if I tried to convince them of this, but they. Gabriel, they that Issei. Issei, they don't allow me. Gabriel, how come they don't allow you? Issei, I love several women, the Sitri entourage, Sarah-chan, Venelana and others. I told them about my emotions, but. Gabriel, but what? Issei, they forbade me from being with you, that's what I came for. Gabriel, he cried, don't leave me, I love you. Issei, cried, I already said goodbye to several, I miss you and Penemu, I love you but we can't be together. Gabriel, he cried, don't tell me it's a joke. Issei, I'm sorry but I'm leaving, but I want you to know that I will always love you, I hope to see you someday. Gabriel. Issei ran away while crying and Gabriel remained static in her place, and a single thought ran through her mind. Gabriel, they took him away from me. Gabriel cried for almost a month and his wings flickered. Read? Michelle's office. Michelle, I've never seen this book read better. Book, Redfall. Michelle, what is that? Book, a long time ago there were two seraphim who loved each other without knowing it. The seraphim wanted to declare her love and did so, but there was a problem that would cost many lives. The seraphim was engaged. He said goodbye telling her that she was the first woman he loved and left crying while the angel remained silent, and her wings suddenly turned red and there was a great explosion of crimson power. The angel fell under the blood flower curse, which consisted of an angel being rejected. Nothing would happen, but they love each other very much, but they can't be together for various factors. She goes crazy, and she did that. She killed 100 angels and tortured the woman who took her loved one away from her. And what happened to him? They went to live far away, but he told her that he didn't recognize who she became. She was not the same as the one he loved, and she killed him in rage. When she realized her mistake, she exploded, destroying a continent and everything around her, and committed suicide thinking that she would find her love. Michelle, but how did he get so much power? Book, the power she gained is easy when she falls under this curse. The angel multiplies her power according to how much she loves him. She gained the power of the Dragon King. Michelle, I'll tell this to Gabriel. Gabriel was crying thinking that he had fallen because his wings turned red and he was sad, but more than anything she wanted to kill the people who took her Issei away. Michelle, Gabriel, I found something very interesting, look at it. Gabriel read everything and realized, and his little sanity went away. Gabriel, if these wings are proof of my love and now according to this my power, I don't know what it is. I suppose that now I am at the level of a celestial dragon. Ha 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 ha, how interesting. You finally realized. Gabriel, who are you? Sona, it's me. Gabriel, Sitri saved me from one more obstacle. Sona, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Gabriel, because nothing stops me and nobody sees me. Sona, why will you lose Issei? Gabriel, don't talk about him. Sona, I was also hurt by her. Farewell to everyone, that's why I offer you to join me. Gabriel, what would I win? Sona, to Issei for all of us. Gabriel, who? Sona, my entourage, my sister, Venelana among others, and my most recent Penemu. Gabriel, she fell too, didn't she? Sona, exactly. Gabriel, you promise we'll share it. Sona, exactly. Gabriel, I accept. Sona, you take this. Well, she gave him a pill. Gabriel, what are you doing? Sona, hide your wings and turn them back to normal. Gabriel, okay, but how do you know? Sona, I investigated everything and I found that book that you saw, and when Issei said goodbye to everyone I thought you would fall. That book first went to Grigory, and then I sent it here for you to read. Gabriel, you had it planned. Sona, Yes, I will soon make those hitches leave our dragon. Gabriel, I'm starting to like this but like Penemu. Sona, it's almost the same as you, only she went crazy faster and accepted faster. This is a flashback of how Gabriel and Penemu fell in love with Issei. Chapter 6, Accepted Feelings. Present. We find Sona and Issei talking peacefully. Issei, and Sona, what will I do as your piece? Also, in a week the supernatural will be revealed. Sona, I know that, and I also wanted to tell you something, Roha. Issei, tell me. Sona, do you remember the time we played chess? Issei, yes, I remember I beat you in the fair. It was the best game I had. Sona, yeah, well, you'll see, whisper. Issei, what? Sona, whisper. Issei, speak louder. Sona, I'm engaged to you. Issei, what? Sona, you see, in order to marry me, a man has to beat me at chess and well, you know what, Roha. Issei, Red, we can break it if you want. Sona, Red. Issei, do you know why Rias made you stay away from everyone? Issei, because I was afraid that I would get away from them. Sona, no, that wasn't the reason, you see. Flashback. In the student council room, two people were seen, Sona Sitri and Rias Gremory. Rias, what do you want to talk about, Sona? Sona, simple, remember how I have to commit. Rias, yes. Sona, you see, they beat me to it a while ago. Rias, who is the lucky one? Sona, Rias, the one who beat me was Issei. Rias, cold like my Issei beat you. Sona, well, you see, it happened when he wasn't a demon. He beat me. Rias, he knows. Sona, that's not why I'm asking you if you would share it with me. Rias, cold, I will never allow my Issei to be with you. Sona, why? Rias, I know he loves you, he told me, and. Sona, and what? Rias, he won't be with you. I don't want to share him anymore, by Sona. Sona, you know he loves me. Rias, that's why I'm going to keep him away from you and all those hitches who want what's mine. Rias left, and Sona remained silent and stupid. Sona, how predictable, thanks to this I will be able to get some to join me. End flashback. Issei was in shock. Did Rias do that out of jealousy? She told him everything except her thoughts. Issei, Sona, really that happened? Sona, yes, Issei, she took me away from you, starts crying. But Issei hugs her without seeing Sona's smile. Sona, I hope that little by little you hate those hitches and you will finally be ours. They separated from the hug. Issei, sorry for letting myself be influenced. I will never let you again. Issei, what, you what? Sona, whisper. Issei, Sona, I can't hear you. Sona, I like you, Issei. Issei, Red. Sona, I like you too. Sona, pretending surprise, why didn't you tell me? Issei, I died that day, remember? I told you to come. I was going to declare my love for you, but. Sona, but. Issei, I died and being revived was a difficult thing to assimilate, and I couldn't tell you my feelings for being with the Gremories. Sona, but they are no longer here, we could start a life together. Issei, but I also want your entourage, your sister and several more. I don't know if you accept me as I am. Sona, we already knew that. Issei, what? Sona, girls, get out. Then all the girls who occupied a part of his heart came out. Issei, surprise, girls. Sona, you see, Issei, we all love you and we agreed to share you. Issei, seriously. Girls, yes. Issei started to cry, but out of happiness for finding people who love him. Issei, seriously, no. Sona, wait, someone is missing. Issei, who? Sona, come out, my. At that the gauntlet manifested, and from there it began to shine, and a beautiful woman came out who made Issei blush because he recognized her aura. Mio, hello Issei-kun. Issei, drag? Mio, yes, but I didn't want to tell you because I was afraid you wouldn't love me. You know she starts crying if you don't want to understand me. But Issei planted a kiss on her mouth, silencing her. Issei, how could I not love someone who accompanied me on all my adventures? I love you too. Mio, cry love. After that all the girls pounced on Issei and planted a kiss on him, and they officially became boyfriends. I skip a week. They were in a worldwide court where all the presidents, and also the leaders of the factions, were present. President of Japan, PJ, today we are here because we discovered that demons and all supernatural beings exist, and today we will make an alliance. P. Mexico, if that is why they would come forward and inform us of everything relevant. Searches, where do I start? And they began to tell everything that happened with clear videos up to the beast of the apocalypse Triaxa, and all those present were scared, but they saw how a red soldier shot him down and sealed him again. Michael, the Red Dragon Emperor. P. Mexico, who is? Azazel, better he shows up or not, kid. From that he felt a great aura and all the cameras focused on the sky, and from there under an armor that was covered in a red color, and from there came out a brown-haired boy who impressed everyone at the academy because he was his partner. Hi to Issei. Issei, hello? From there they flew in a lot of questions explaining how things work, such as sacred gears, as well as explaining the different races. P. Mexico, that is, dragons fall in love with several women and are eternally faithful to them. Azazel, basically of course if the woman betrays him. Michelle, the dragon dies slowly. Everyone was shocked when they found out that their savior was dying. Queen of England, young man, you are dying worried. Issei, before. P. Mexico, like before. Issei, I did the dragon fall ritual. P. Japan, how it works. Issei, he is in charge of eliminating all my emotions that harm me permanently. P. Peru, so you don't feel anything anymore. Issei, yes and no. P. Mexico, please explain. Issei, I no longer feel love for my previous partners because of the ritual, but I kept that emotion for my new loved ones, the Sitri entourage, the Archangel Gabriel, the Penemu cadre, Graphia Lucifuge and Venelana Gremory. Everyone was stunned, but Xerxes was even more shocked, but he couldn't do anything because he knew Issei, and he decided to set his wife and son free. P. Japan, since when are they a couple? Issei, just a week ago I was depressed, and they helped me move on. They all continued talking about all the topics and made an alliance that consisted of giving each other materials in various terms. Chapter 7, Peacetime. After finishing that meeting, it was exhausting for Issei because they asked him everything, and now he was walking to his new home with the Sitri entourage. He walked alone thinking about what would happen from now on because his student life would become very interesting. Time skip Monday. Today was Monday and Issei was waking up, but he felt a lot of weight on top of him, and it was his loved one. He was happy to find love. Issei, girls wake up. Murayama, a few more minutes. Issei, I may die but it gives. Issei pretended to be called. Issei, hi, yes there is a party full of women, yes I think I have time, and I am alone, so I will go, wait. Issei fell silent as his instincts told him. Instincts, dude, today is a good day to die. Issei saw that all his partners were looking at him with red eyes. Mio, where were you going? Issei, it was a joke to get them to get up. Sona, it may be a joke but… Seraphil, we don't like those jokes. Venelana, you also deserve punishment for joking like that. Issei trembled like jelly. Issei, sorry. After that there were many manly screams asking for forgiveness, and saying no my pelvis, and very manly cries. After half an hour everyone was happy as Issei was carried by Momo in a wheelchair. Sona, how are you Issei? Issei, well considering that my pelvis hurts a lot, they were very abrupt. Murayama, ha you are so cute. Kates, also that was for making those kinds of jokes. Issei, mental note to never joke like that again. Sona, we are ready, let's go. Everyone went about their business and Sona was carrying Issei in a wheelchair while every person who passed by asked him what happened, and he became more and more embarrassed. Time skip academia? Issei, hey Mio. Sona, she will also be in your class to help you get around. Issei, and why didn't he come with us? Sona, simple, it was a surprise look there this one. Sona pointed to a happy Mio at the door, and they said goodbye with a kiss and Mio taking him in the wheelchair and him greeting everyone and giving autographs until recess, which was filled with questions. Recreation. Issei was alone at a table as the girls went to buy food until several people crowded around his table. Person 1, hey Issei-senpai, how much power does he have? Issei, I'm on par with Great Red, but using the Jugger I'm like 80% of the Triaxa. Person 2, and it will come into your power. Issei, in fact, if I use my vitality, I will defeat him. Person, you beat him with your vitality? Issei, yes, in fact, when I used it I only had 1 month to live in exchange for the power. Everyone was surprised by that, and it made them admire him even more. Person 1, and how is he still alive? Issei, Nikomatas can use Senjutsu to return lifetime and my friend Kuroka helped me with that. Persona 5, and tell me, is Kaneko a Nikomata? Issei, oh yes. Person, why did they break up? Issei remained silent. It's not that it hurt him, he just felt uncomfortable. Persona 5, we're sorry to ask that. Issei, there's no point in hiding it, and if before I was in a relationship with them but they. Everyone was attentive. Issei, they changed me. Everyone was stunned, did they change it? Woman 3, Issei-senpai, it is true that a dragon loves eternally. Issei, yes, indeed our emotions are capable of making us break our limits. I really got all my power because of the love I had for my partners and my loved ones, but as good as it is, if a dragon is betrayed, it dies slowly and painfully because our power becomes our poison. All the students were in shock. Woman 18, you are dying. Issei, almost Jose, a ritual. Person 4, what kind of ritual? Issei, we love our partners so much that we cannot forget our partner naturally. It is almost impossible. Our love is very great, that is why there is a very painful method. Person 6, what is that? Issei, as I already mentioned in the meeting, the ritual consists of removing all my harmful emotions, in other words, love, and I had to eliminate it. Person, don't you feel love anymore? Issei, no, I no longer feel sorry for the girls who betrayed me. But remember when I was in the student council? Person 10, yes. Issei, well, there I fell in love with Sona and her entourage and other women. That's why I didn't completely lose my emotions. Everyone was surprised. So great was the love of a dragon that he needed a ritual to relieve that pain. Person, how painful is the ritual? Issei, it depends on your love and how many people. In my case there were many, so explaining it to them would be burning you inside with lava, apart from your skin being torn and finally hitting your little toe 1,000 times worse, XD. Everyone was shocked at how much he had to go through to forget about them. Person, this is my last question, how did I get into a wheelchair? Issei was embarrassed by that, and that made everyone doubt more. Issei whisper. Person, what? Issei, I'll say it delicately, when a woman is in the mood you already know what, and besides she has great resistance, and she is also enraged. I mean she was not gentle, the woman is very rude, now multiply that by 20. Everyone was red at that. Person, I mean they left you like this? Issei nodded embarrassedly. But her girls showed up. Sona, so you don't like me? Issei, I never said that, I just wanted to say that you know, they should be more delicate, and they were my first time and they were very rough. Murayama, you're not sleeping today, Issei. Issei got scared and started looking for his fans to ask for help, but there was only smoke where they were. Issei, traitors. Zone, we go to our classes but you don't sleep today. Issei swallowed hard. They were about to leave until. Me Issei. Issei, that voice. Chapter 8, Gremory. I will narrate what happened with the Gremories. Apart from that I forgot to say that Kuroka is also in the harem. My Issei. Issei, that voice Rias. Rias, my cute pawn annoyed, come and see what you do with them. Issei, Gremry-san, I'm sorry, but I don't understand you. I'm with my partners. Akeno, but that's us. Issei, Himejima-san is wrong, they are my partners, not you. Zenobia, annoyed, why are you unfaithful to us, you dirty pervert? Issei, annoyed, with what right do you say that after deceiving me with those demons? The girls were in shock. Rias, yes, that's a lie, if not you must have been confused. Issei, Gremry-san, I'm sorry to tell you that I'm a half-demon dragon, and as such I can distinguish auras, and you smelled them, so it's unnecessary to deny it. Kaneko, how? Issei, what do you mean? Kaneko, if I don't detect you. Issei, in fact, it was raining and I hid my aura because of that, and you don't know how much it hurt me to see you there, but I don't love you anymore. Asia, lie. You love us, you can't forget us so easily. From one day to the next I'm sure you hide it, but I know you love us. Issei, they are right. Everyone was surprised by that, but he was happy with the Gremrys, but he was furious with his new harem. Issei, or that's what I'd like to say, I did the ritual, or they'll tell me they don't know about it. The Gremrys remained still at that information because they knew about that ritual. Rias, crying, my Issei, tell me why you are lying, tell me please. Issei, I'm sorry, but it's true. Rias, ha 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 ha. Issei, what are you laughing at? Rias, psychopathic smile, or forget it, we are engaged, and besides you are my dear, if necessary I will punish you until you love me again. Issei, ha 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 ha, are you serious? Let me laugh more, ha ha ha. Ravel, I don't see what's funny. Issei, are you making fun of your wives? Issei, it doesn't make me laugh that I don't know anything. Rias, my engagement was broken and I'm no longer your crow, now I'm Sona-chan's. The Gremrys stood still in place as they began to cry. Rias, crying, why are you doing this to me? I know I failed you, but we can fix it. Issei, don't buck with me. I'm doing this to you, you made this decision, and surely your supposed boyfriends left you or not. Gremrys. Issei, his silence confirms it, and how they left them. Flashback. Rias and her entourage were walking to the park where their respective boyfriends were. When they arrived, they saw them kissing with others that hurt them. Boyfriend Rias, hello love. Hello love, how are you? Have you finished your work? And Rias, today we will leave you guys, yes or no? Boys, yes. Rias, what they do? No, Rias, they saved me from explaining it to you. You see, our contractor no longer needs us, and that's why we left you sluts, ha ha ha. Zenobia, crying, why? We thought they loved us. No. Zenobia, we would never love hitches like you. Leaving the great and magnificent Red Emperor is pathetic. Zenobia, if they admire him, why did they do this to him? No, Rias, simple, a little person told us that he wanted to test his love, so we accepted. Plus it was good pay, he told us what he liked, and we proceeded. To be honest, I thought they would reject us, but surprise, here we are. Good thing the Red Emperor will now be in good hands, yes or no, guys? Boys, yes. Rias, damned. Rias was about to unleash her power of destruction. Don't laugh, what are you going to do? Tell me, will you kill me? If you do, the underworld will arrest you. And what will your excuse be? I slept with them and left my true love for some pretty faces, and now I wanted to kill them. How stupid are you? The boys left while the Gremrys cried silently and went home. Kaneko, Rias, what if Issei-senpai didn't know about our deception? Rias, if you're right, we better fix things and look beautiful for him. Girls, yes. They looked for him at home, but they didn't find him. Rias, where are you? Akeno, how about I just visited my parents, and I'll definitely come when the academy starts. Rias, if there is, we will see it. End flashback. Issei, I like those guys, they made me see the truth, but I wonder who hired them. Rias, you see, Issei, it's the fault of the one who hired them, not ours. Issei, Gremry, I'm sorry, but put yourself in my place. What would happen if someone did the same thing? Rias and the others were static. Issei, you see, even you know, but I forgive them for everything we lived together. Rias and the others wanted to hug him, but he used his chair and skidded. Kaneko, why did you do that? Issei, I forgive you, but our relationship is over. Rias, but. Issei, you're grounded. Rias, for a week, young lady. Rias, you are nobody to order me around. Issei, I'm your stepfather. That left the Gremmeries even more in shock. Rias, here maybe my ma is your pair partner. Issei, if she cheated on him, Xiaticus, like father, like son, Gremmeries, never. Issei was carried away by a cheerful meal, but Sona stayed. Sona, did I tell you or not? Rias, what do you mean? Sona, that Issei would be mine no matter what the cost, and I got it. Maybe I played dirty, but like you said, in war and love anything goes, ha 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 ha. Rias, angry, it's your fault, you did it. Sona, no my dear friend, I simply let them know your tastes and all that, you fell in love, that shows me that you don't love him, and now it will be on your conscience that he is mine and theirs forever. Maybe I will call you to be the godmother of my son or children, I don't know, ha ha ha. Rias fainted and was carried away by his entourage, who were also devastated. Sona, checkmate, ha 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 ha. Chapter 9, Final 1. This will be the good ending. Issei, after getting away from the Gremmeries, he left normally and went to his house to sleep. Sona, and tell me, Issei, what are we going to do now? Issei, I don't know that, I just know that I want to be with you. Girls, how cute. Issei and his girlfriends spent a lot of time together, and when he finally saw that they would never change him, he decided to get married. Issei was leaving Ijuka's laboratory because he asked for many rings, and he happily told them that the girls were being entertained by Xerxes, who was taking them to a very elegant restaurant, and he transported himself to an alley and walked until he saw his wives happily talking to each other. Issei entered and everyone saw him, and they ate animatedly until they spoke. Sona, Issei, we celebrate. Issei, you see, Sona, when a man is in love he does stupid things, and many or not men. Several men nodded and several prepared something in their pockets. Issei, when I see them my mind explodes because of their beauty. Issei presses a button and several fireworks come out. Issei, that's why I'm asking you, do you want to marry me? Issei knelt down and showed a box full of beautiful rings personalized for each one, and each boy did the same, and they all accepted. Issei waited but saw his loved ones cry. He thought they would say no, but all YSSSSSSSS. Issei jumped for joy, and an orchestra came in playing festive music, and then a soft ball to dance to. Time skip. Time flew by. 4 months for the wedding, and today was the happiest day for Issei and his girls, and the most afraid they were that they wouldn't be good enough, but the girls calmed themselves down while the men, well, they had very orthodox methods. A desperate Issei is seen walking, saying this one is not here either, and he calmed down when Vala gave him a tremendous sape. Issei, why? Vala, so you can calm down, you idiot. Issei, okay. But Rias hit him with another sape, sinking him back into the ground. Issei, and that's why. Rias, it looked fun. Azazel, stop messing around and get the groom ready. If the girls took hours to change and Issei took 5 minutes or so, smiley face, the power of men, and when he was waiting he saw the girls come in with their parents or uncles or godfathers or etc. The wedding went normally, full of joy and some sadness because the Gremmeries committed suicide for Issei. Well, that's what it seems. Flashback. The Gremmeries were planning how to take their man away from those hitches according to them, but they were all knocked out by a gas, and they saw a sick smile for the last time. The Gremmeries woke up and saw that they were tied up and unable to use their magic until they saw all of Issei's new partners. Rias, angry, what do they want? Sona, calm down, Rias, I just came to get rid of the annoyances, although I don't like to admit it. If Issei sees them often and they behave better, their emotions may return, and I hate that. That's why I will kill them. Asia, but he did the ritual. He will never love us again. Asia started crying. Venelana, you're right, but Issei's love was so great that there are remains of that love. That's why it's better to make him forget them over time, and for that they shouldn't be. The Gremmeries were happy and sad because their Issei, according to them, could still love them, and sad for abandoning someone like that. Sona, here begins your torture. Each girl was separated. Venelana, don't forget Sona that I gave her life and I will take it away. Sona, very poetic but I might lose control. With Kaneko. Kaneko was tied up and couldn't speak until the blindfold was removed from her eyes and she saw her sister with some girls from the Sitri clan. Kaneko, what are you doing, Annie-chan? Kuroka, nothing, I'm just getting rid of a stone in my shoe. Kaneko, crying, I swear I will never follow Issei-sem again. Kaneko didn't finish because Kuroka had cut off one of her two Nikomata ears. Kuroka, don't mention it, a hitch like you shouldn't mention it, let's just get this over with. Kuroka cut off her other ear to great pain and cries of pain from Kaneko, then cut off her tail, and began to beat her with senjutsu and finally stabbed her in the neck with a knife. Kuroka, see you later, little sister. With Ravel. Ravel was like Kaneko until she managed to see what was going on with Murayama and Kates, who looked at her with a lot of hatred. Ravel, why do they do this? Murayama, for love. Ravel, if he finds out, you know he'll hate you. Kates, but he doesn't have to find out, does he? Kates began to cut her with his sword all over her body, and she regenerates. Murayama, how long will your supposed immortality last? Ravel, crying no more please. Kates, I'm sorry but it has to be like this. Kates and Murayama mutilated his body and it regenerated until he no longer had magic to regenerate, and they cut his neck. With Asia, Irina and Zenobia. The three were tied up and were awakened by ice-cold water coming from Gabriel and Penemu. Asia, what will they do to us? Asia spoke with great fear and that increased when she saw their psychopathic smiles. Penemu, we will send them to God. They started by cutting their wings, which was very painful, then they took out their eyes one by one, and in the end they beat them brutally to finish off Asia with a knife, and Zenobia and Irina had their Excaliburs in their hearts. With Rosswise. She was tied up and couldn't see anything until she saw several women who were Issei's girls. Rosswise, what will they do to me? She began to cry out of fear, but they began to beat her brutally while laughing. Then they used poison that burned her organs, and finally they cut her throat while she drowned in her own blood. With Akeno. Akeno was scared because she didn't know where she was until she saw Tsubaki and Gabby in front of her. She tried to talk but was immediately hit by Gabby with her sacred gear, then her torture began. Tsubaki began using her water magic and cutting many wounds that were bleeding profusely because she cut her veins. Then she closed them, and then she did the same again, and with Gabby she began to slowly cut her wings while she moved in agony, and that until they got bored and cut off her head. With Rias. Rias was watching as her mother, Grafia and Sona looked at her with eyes full of hate. Sona was the first to hit her while she was talking. Sona, this is for taking my love away from me, hit, this is for leaving him, hit, and this is for taking him away from me. And so on until he got bored and slowly gouged out one of her eyes while he delighted in Rias's screams of agony. After that Venelana and Grafia approached her. The first to do something was Venelana, who cut off her two wings with her destruction magic while she begged for mercy. After that she began to heal her so that she would not die quickly, then she proceeded to use her magic, destroying several of her organs. Then Grafia started using her ice magic to freeze his entire body and freeze his mouth, and to finish she took out his eye and cut off his tongue. At the end of her torture she prayed to every deity to kill her. Venelana approached her. Venelana, I gave you life and I will take it away from you. Venelana made a sphere of destruction and began to bury it in her heart. End flashback. After their wedding they got married and everyone toasted to their happiness. Epilogue. After passing, Issei became very studious and finished his studies and made his own company called Red Dragon. Each of his women became pregnant and had 1 or 2 daughters with each one, and one more came. Chapter 10 Bad Ending. We met at the wedding. Everyone was celebrating until Sona clinked her glass and everyone paid attention to them. Sona, I want to toast to me and Issei and may we be happy forever. Everyone toasted her but her last words baffled them. Sona, and for that they are not necessary. Everyone was surprised, but the guests began to convulse, and the strongest ones, like the leaders, spat out a lot of blood, and what baffled everyone was that Issei's partners began to die, but some who drank a little of the wine only spat out blood. After 5 minutes, only the leaders and some Issei couples remained. Michael, why are you doing this? Sona, you will win. Sona, to me Issei is obvious. Gabriel, I thought we would share it, did you use us? Ambient music. Sona, I would never share it with you, it was always mine since we were kids. Issei, tired, I didn't know you at that age. Sona, no, you don't remember me, but the name Yu makes you think. Issei Imposy impossible. Sona, yes my dear Issei, I finally came back for you and you will be mine again, ha 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 ha. Azazel, how did you meet her, Issei? Flashback. We see a beaten up Issei because no one played with him, and they called him weird because he liked the supernatural among other things, but today was different. He saw how some boys harassed a girl. She was black-haired with very black eyes that seemed lifeless. He defended her, and they became best friends. But over time she did not allow him to see anyone. She proclaimed him her husband, and he was scared of her because she would hit him if he disobeyed her, and he couldn't. But one day when some people took Yui very far from him, he was relieved, but her last words would make him very afraid. Yui, my Issei, I will come back for you, and no matter how long it takes or how many people I kill until you and I are together again, you better be chaste when I come back because you are only mine, do you understand? End flashback. After that he never knew anything more about Yui. That was the main trauma he had. It wasn't Reincarnation. In fact, it was Yui who implanted that fear in me. Azazel, great, now a crazy girl, we don't know how much she planned this. Sona, I planned it since they took me away from you, my Issei, but as I promised you I came back for you or not, although I had to ask these hitches for help, but soon we will be together again. Come and give me a kiss, Issei. Issei stood still and did not respond. He just trembled with fear because of Sona's eyes and tried to leave, but he couldn't move. Sona, why don't you come, darling? I hope you don't tell your wife. Issei was still there trying to leave, but the fear and pain of the drug that didn't kill him only made him weaker were against him. Xerxes, he can't fight, it's better that we take care of him. Michael, okay, let's go. The three leaders tried to attack, but out of nowhere they fell again. Azazel, how? Sona, I always have a backup plan. All that's missing is for them to die with everything supernatural. So my Issei and I will be together forever. Odin, how come you're going to kill us? There are more of us. Sona, look at this little button. Sona showed them a red button. Sona, this button is connected to some atomic bombs that will destroy everything around them, enough to kill them, and look how much time you have left. I will give you a chance. You have 5 minutes before it explodes, and now choose 1,000 lives or stop me and save Issei, you decide. Gabriel, damn. Sona, or some are still alive. I thought they would all die, but what does it matter? They will die with them. Murayama, since when did you plan this, and what were we for you? Sona, I planned it since I was a little girl, and you were my chess pieces, and if you died I didn't care. I only cared about winning, and I achieved it. Kates, if you separated them from the Gremmaries, why did you need us? Sona, I needed them for this. She showed them a jar. Sona, this jar contains each of your powers. That's why I needed your power, to make sure that Issei is only mine. You never realized it, but I planned all of your encounters with Issei, your outings. Even when I saved you, you were always my puppets, and from now on I don't need you anymore. Penemu, I'll kill you, damn it. Penemu tried to attack her, but before touching her, Sona cut off her head in a quick movement, to everyone's surprise and horror, and the one who passed her was Issei, who began to cry. Sona, here goes one, you follow. Sona lunged at everyone while wearing a truly crazy smile and cut or mutilated them until there were no girls left. And why was it easy? Because stealing their essence and mixing it gave her a power greater than that of the Thexa. Not even Neo could do anything to her. Sona, since I decided to deal with the inconvenience, leaders, time is running out. The three of them were left deciding what to do until Xerxes went to where Issei and Michael, with the help of Azazel, would try to stop the bomb. He walked calmly as if he wasn't going to cause genocide, but he stopped and destroyed Azurcha's destruction sphere. Sona, and you came alone knowing of my power. Xerxes, I don't care if I have to die for my friend. Sona, let's finish this quickly because I want to be in bed with my darling. Xerxes tried to hit Sona, but he couldn't do anything, just be the punching bag, and Sona began to torture him by cutting his tendons, fingers, and finally his limbs, and to end his suffering she cut his throat, watching him drown in his own blood. Sona, it was very easy, it's time to go, my Issei, who is scaring us here? Sona left with a magic circle with an unconscious Issei. With Azazel and Michael. They were desperately trying to deactivate the bomb, but it seemed impossible, until Azazel saw something that disappointed him. Azazel, that damn thing deceived us. Michael, what happened? Azazel, this bomb is independent, in other words it doesn't need keys or anything, we will all die. Michael, it was a good life, although I would like to see Father one more time. Azazel, I'm sure you'll see it, it's time to rest, friend. A great glow appeared on all features without exception, eliminating all traces of them. With Sona and Issei. Issei woke up tied up and began to move desperately until the door opened, showing a much more developed Sona in lingerie. Issei, so why are you doing this? Sona, simple love, it's for us. You don't know how long I planned this, and my new name is Sona, but for you she is my queen, ha ha ha. Issei, Sona, stop this madness, you are not the Sona I loved. Sona, I wasn't always like this, you just didn't realize it, and since I know you won't love me, I'll teach you how to do it. Issei was going to speak, but she put her panties in his mouth. Sona, let's start, darling. A frightened Issei woke up and saw Sona next to him. Issei, I'm still tormented by what she did to me in that basement, but I must pretend to love her until I figure out how to leave. Sona, darling, what do you think? Issei, nothing, my love. Epilogue. Several years passed, and Issei learned to love her besides being his only visitor, but what scared him the most was that his two daughters were just like his mother, and for him it was strange. Although incest was allowed among dragons, he saw it as strange, but he couldn't refuse because his wife threatened him, and sometimes the four of them did it. And if he refused, the only thing they did was torture him. Chapter 11, Evil End. Sona is about to toast and begin her plan, but out of nowhere a blade made of the power of destruction entered her heart, and seeing behind her some blood-red eyes, and grabbed the hooded woman, whispering something to her. Sona, I would have liked to die with you, darling, don't let Issei find out. At that moment everyone saw how Sona's body slowly fell, and ecstatic Issei saw this and began to cry as his power grew. At that moment, everyone saw a hooded woman who gave off a hatred greater than that of the Triaxa. That would not scare them because Issei is equally or stronger. What scared them was seeing several hooded women with that power, and they doubted if Issei could handle them all. Issei, crying no, why? Angry, who are they? Issei, releasing his power, watched as they slowly removed the robes that covered them, surprised to see the supposed women he once loved and who committed suicide according to the reports. Issei, impossible, you are dead. Rias, my cute pawn, I look very alive. Issei, how did they get that power? Rias, we gave something in exchange for something else, don't you think it's fair? A soul for another soul, or in this case a world for a person, my dear Issei? Issei, what did they do? Rias, we promised to give this world to someone dark in exchange for you, my darling, a fair price, and it gave us a lot of power, but we will not live here. When we finish we will go to another dimension. Issei, no, I will not allow them, I will kill them, they dared to kill my wife, my love. At that moment it hurt the Gremrys a lot, but if he did not love them they would teach him to love them, and their daughters or sons. Rias, I don't like you mentioning that hitch, darling. Akeno, if my cute Kohai can't be unfaithful to us, that deserves a punishment. Issei, I'll send them back to where they came from. Rias, darling, I hope you forgive me, but I might break some of your bones, so I'm sorry. Issei, mine, lend me your power, I won't be able to do it alone. Mine, yes dear. Mine was about to return to Issei, but a Zenobia with her sword, only that it was rusty, and gave off a power full of hatred. Zenobia, you will face me. Mine, Issei, I'll be late, please resist. Issei, it's okay, love. Rias at that moment hit him with a fist filled with destruction magic. Rias, I don't want you to talk to those hitches, darling. Issei, with blood they are not hitches, they are my wives. Rias, and you defend them, I will have to educate you, darling. At that moment Rias began to fight against Issei while the others separated to fight with the others. Akeno versus leaders. Azazel, why do they do this? Akeno, you don't see it for love. Xerxes, it's not love, it's obsession, don't they realize? Akeno, this love is not the greatest, that's why we will kill them and keep our Issei, ha 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 ha. Michael, she's old, she's crazy. Azazel, yes I know. Xerxes, let's hope we win. It was a brutal fight, but the leaders could do little, and it ended with Akeno decapitating Azazel, splitting Xerxes in two, and a wingless and dead-eyed Michael. Irina versus Gabriel and Penemu. Gabriel, why do you continue with this? Don't you see that he loves us? Irina, ha 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 ha, if he doesn't love us we will educate him, and he will learn to love us. Gabriel, you are weak, there are two of us and you are one. At that moment Gabriel and Penemu took out their wings, which were red. Irina, so you guys too? Penemu, what do you mean? Irina, my wings. At that moment Irina took out her wings, and to the surprise of both, her wings were red as blood, just like theirs. Gabriel, how? Irina, I felt like you, but unlike you my love is greater, that's why I have more power. At that moment he approached at a monstrous speed and attacked the two with spears of light, only these were red. Irina, I expected more, when I'm done with you I'll have fun with my cute Issei. Penemu, damned. At that moment Penemu ran at her maximum speed, driven by hatred, attacking with everything, but Irina, in a burst of speed, cut off Penemu's wings, causing her to scream, and when she was about to decapitate her, she whispered something to her. Penemu, please don't let Issei find out. Irina, it's okay. At that moment Irina cut off Penemu's head, and then a fight began in favor of Irina, where in a moment of carelessness she cut off one of Gabriel's wings, and in her pain she took advantage and cut it in two. And so the whole battle went on, where the Gremmeries massacred their rivals until only one Issei was left on the ground, bleeding and without an arm, looking with hatred at his former loves. Rias, I don't like that look, darling, but soon you will learn to love. Issei, I will never love them, I will die before loving them. Akeno, we'll see about that, my little Issei. Kaneko, this is your fault, Issei-senpai, if you had chosen us nothing would have happened. Issei, I hate them. Issei, after screaming in anger, was knocked out and carried away by the Gremmeries, and only Rias was left. Rias, hey room. Everyone would think that he was speaking to the air, but a streak of darkness appeared. A hooded man. Rias, we have already fulfilled our part of the deal, fulfill yours. Okay, Miss Gremery, I hope you don't waste this opportunity. The stranger gave him a very strange box. I guess you know how to leave this dimension, right? Rias, yes, I know, I hope we never see each other again. Ha 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 ha, that was so funny. Change of scene. All the Gremmeries were in a bed with a tired Issei waiting for him to wake up. After a few minutes Issei began to wake up, seeing how the girls looked at him with eyes with hearts. Issei, where am I? At that moment the memories of what had happened came to him. Issei, you guys let me go. Rias, I'm sorry darling, but you belong to us now. Issei, they will look for me and send them to Tartarus for this. Rias, who will look for you if there is no one looking for you? Issei, don't tell me. Akeno, if my little Issei no longer exists, no one will leave soon. Issei, I will never love them, I hate them, I prefer to die than to love them. Rias, I don't think so, Issei, you will love us whether we like it or not. A shiver ran through Issei's body as Rias took out her ring. Rias, this will make you love us even if you don't want to. Issei, what is that? Rias, they are Issei engagement rings, The purple one is ours and the blue one is for you, and best of all, you know what it is. Issei, scared what? Akeno, that you will love us. Kaneko, even if you don't want to. Asia, until death do us part. Rias, it's perfect, not always, for the whole vine, and you will love us even if you don't want it. Issei, girls, stop this madness. We can still help you. Rias, who said we need help? Ravel, we are happy as we are. Issei, no please. At that moment Issei saw tentacles coming out of the ring. Rias, don't be scared, these rings will stick to your skin so you never take them off. Issei felt how the tentacles began to enter his skin, piercing the skin and then the bone, staying fixed, and the tentacles began to rise through his veins to his head. Rias, from today you belong to us. Issei closed his eyes and opened them again, showing lifeless eyes. Issei, my loves, why am I tied up? Rias, it's nothing, now we untie you. Epilogue. Issei became a hollow being who only lived for his loves, and they were happy, and Issei had 2 daughters with each one, and now they were waiting for the third.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.